everybody. Thank you for joining SPTV again. For you, well, in the UK, it's the evening, but here in the US, it's the afternoon, as you can tell from the light. But thank you, come one, come all. I am Rachel, as in Rachel G. Palmistry, also known as Rachel Galbreath. And yes, I read palms. That is basically my forte, we shall say. I've been doing it for over 30 years, if you're not familiar with me. And because of that, how do I put this? I always like to say I'm like an amalgamation, meaning I have thorough knowledge of many different ways of reading palms, and through just being with a client, I just kind of adapted everything into my own way of reading hands. So my approach is a little bit different than what you might automatically think of a palm reader being. Come on, we all have an image of a palm reader in our hand, in our head, as soon as somebody says, "Oh, I'm a palmist," or "Let's go get our palms read." I know you have some little image in your head. We all do, okay? Which is why the majority of my extended family did not really know what I did or do for quite a long time, okay? But, so this is how it's going to go this evening. And my best wishes and sending energy out to Jane. She was supposed to actually be on here at 8 o'clock, and I'm normally at 10, but here we are. We're here. So I hope you feel better, Jane. Okay, sending some energy out to you. And so tonight, I'm going to start off the evening by talking about palmistry and a little bit of the history behind it, why I like it, different forms. I'm also going to discuss the lines and why I find it one of the most important forms of, I don't know, I don't really want to even say divination. It's more because my approach is more of what your specific or my client's needs are based on their hand. And why do I say that? Because, okay, yeah, I'm just jumping right in here, people, and we got to take, yeah, we are doing readings. I am going to be doing readings, and so that's a part of tonight as well. So please, the email address is on the screen. Please make sure that you do the hand, take a photo of the hand that you write with. Meaning, if you are going to grab a pen and sign your name, take a picture of that palm, okay, with your cell phone. Make sure it's from the wrist all the way out, all the way to the very tips of the fingers, and as clear as possible so that I can get all of the lines, so I can see them and really get into what's going on. And I really like how Richard said, how he described it, carpal bones. I really got to start using this terminology, okay? But anyway, so we're going to do that. And then we're also going to have some cards. I'm going to do some quick cards. And I chose a different deck for tonight. So just so you know, I chose the Guardian of the Night deck, which is a tarot deck, which isn't really readily available, which I was told recently. I thought it was going into mass production, and it has not yet. So we'll see how that goes. And those readings are very, very just quick, very just like, this is what you need to focus on right now. It like shine a spotlight on one card pull for whoever, whatever happens. This is kind of a free-flowing 2 hours packed with info. At least I hope. All right, let's say some hellos to people. Who do we have, Richard? Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining. Hi, Presh. Like your name. Hey, Risha. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Hi, Vitrina. I like your name, too. Wow. Very good to see you. Marcus, yay! Marcus. Marcus is on Thursday evening. He'll be here on Thursday evening. Hey, Terry. Hi. Thanks for all the work you do, Terry. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Hi, Karen. Hi. Olivia. Good to see you. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Pat. Tina. Good to see you. Michelle. Your name is very familiar to me. Joanne. Lady Joanne. Good to see you again. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Erin. Hi, Vitrina. You're in New York? Got a story about that. Hi, Martin. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Carrie. Yeah, it's early. It's early. Hi, Sharon. From Scotland. Woo! Bucket list. Everybody hears me talk about Scotland. Hi, Allison. Hi, Eileen. It's been a while. Thanks for stopping by. And Wendy, hello. Hi, Holly. Good to see you again. Hi, Kim. We have a really good crowd this evening. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you again, lady. And Diane, hello to you too. Wow, hello, Gloria. Hi, Denise from sunny Cornwall. Hi, Nina. Hi, Anita. Oh, well, thanks, Sharon, for me, Anita. And I hope I don't let you down. Hi, Casey. Yes, we could be. All right. Hello, Christian, and hello, Julie. And I think we're going to stop there because we got a lot to cover here. And I'm a talker, folks. I am. Richard, poor Richard. He's the producer that's in the headset here. He's always like, come on. Because that's how I am with palmistry. And even when I give a private reading, hi, Sierra. Hey, Miss Sierra. One of my students from my palmistry class that I teach on SPTV. Hello. I know how. Yes, and I will actually be offering another crack at it, we'll say, very soon. So please make sure to check out the website, spiritual psychicstv.com. I've lost my mind. Okay. spiritualpsychicstv.com. Okay, and then you can, it's still the workshops and everything, right? Because I know you were talking about doing another website and stuff, so it's still okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the website. Okay. Okay, Jane. Okay, this is a message for you, Jane. Okay, we cannot read I cannot read your hand. The photo, I've been told, is very blurry and the angle is not correct. This is what we need, literally. It's just this, to do this in the picture, okay? That's what we need. Make sure it's very well lit and as clear as possible so I can see all the little nooks and crannies of the lines and everything. And also the hand that you write with. Okay, so that's your dominant hand. So yeah. And Amanda, same with your picture as well. Okay, I'm being told. So please retry. And if any of you are very tech savvy and you know how to keep the files, the image size really small, please do so. Because what happens is that the email gets filled up and things start bouncing back to the sender and pure chaos ensues. We don't want that. We don't want that tonight, okay? So if you can at all, please try to make the file size a little bit smaller than what it automatically pumps out on the phone, okay? So where to start? Wow. How many are familiar with palmistry? Well, as I said, there's that image, that automatic go-to of what a palm reader looks like, right? As you can see, that's not me, right? But I have been doing this for about 34 years. My family, we all have our, I would call them idiosyncratic quirks, okay? Meaning we are all empaths, whether or not we like to admit it. Some adjust to it in different ways, and some embrace the messages, some embrace whatever gifts they have, and some people in my family have squashed it down. But it's still there, and it still peeks out every once in a while, even with the ones that don't want to admit it. So I'm very, very familiar with what it is to be an empath, and I think that's why I am so drawn to palmistry. That and palmistry, before, think of it this way, and this is a truth, okay? Before there was language, right? Before there was the written word, right? People obviously could draw, do whatever, right? But everybody, whatever we looked like thousands of years ago, everybody's walking around with these, right? And it's like, why? Wait, why are mine different from yours? And this is globally, right? So instead of doing cards, because that system didn't really exist, instead there came this system of trying to understand why someone's hand would look the way it did. So there are thousands of different methods and ideologies around palmistry. Thousands, okay? So my advice to any of you out there that are interested in palmistry, if you decide to go pick up a book or take a class or talk to somebody about how to do it, listen to your gut. Whatever you are drawn to, whatever method you are drawn to, that is what you should do. It's not a matter of me telling you, oh, go get this book. This is the book that you need. It's the same principle with doing cards. I mean, someone may tell you to go get the Rider-Waite deck, and then you will get the Rider-Waite deck, and you're like, wait, this doesn't say anything to me. It's because it doesn't click with you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we're all individuals. And we are all coming from our own experiences. Therefore, we all have our own understanding of events and different things that people are going through, right? It's called, getting a new set of eyes, right? Getting a new set of eyes on a situation. It's like that. So, for me, I dove into Vedic palmistry and also Aristotelian palmistry. And I know you don't hear that very often, right? But Aristotelian is Aristotle. Now, the story goes that Aristotle supposedly went into a temple of Hermes, aka Mercury, which is this little guy right here, the pinky, right, the little finger. Now, Hermes is, or Mercury, he is all about communication, right? And there are some other seedy things about him, but he is pretty much the black and white communicator, like the truth, the absolute truth of the core of a situation. So Aristotle went into a temple of Hermes and found a diagram. really like probably clay tablet, something, right? Of a palm with different areas drawn out on the palm and what gods and goddesses corresponded to those areas. And that sparked this whole interest in palmistry for him. Now, with that, that information was later given to Alexander the Great. Now, Alexander the Great, and this is all historical stuff, you can look it up, right? Alexander the Great took that information that had originally come from Aristotle and said, okay, I want all of my potential troops or soldiers, I want all of their palms read to find out what they were going to do in battle, meaning fight, flight, or freeze. What would be the best for them based on their energy, based on their soul. That essence of who we all are, that is in the physical container, okay? And that can be seen on the hand. And that is why I was so drawn to it. I really, because I'm a bibliophile. I love to read. And I love to read philosophy, okay? So it was like right up my alley. And then you bring in the Vedic side of it, Hinduism and all that kind of thing, which is so very, very, very important and very dominant way of reading hands. And the mixture just kind of clicked with me. Now, for everybody else out there, we're talking globally. Cultures across the globe have palmistry in their history. There's a Chinese way of reading hands. There actually was even a Muslim version of palmistry that was recently almost completely eradicated from that school of thought, okay? And it's punishable to actually practice now. But it is there. And even indigenous cultures such as the Native Americans who are, they have the same principles, which I find interesting, as Chinese palmistry, in that culture, a woman would only have her left hand read, and a man would only have the right, no matter what. Whereas in Vedic palmistry, as an example, the hand that you write with, your dominant hand, is your current life, whereas everything that happened to your energy in every past life, the most poignant situations are on the non-dominant hand. And why am I holding my left hand up? Because that for me is my non-dominant hand. So you can look at it and say, wow, okay, I did that. Wow. And I'm doing it again. See, that's what I like, is that you can look at the past, see if you are repeating something in your current life, like a hamster on a wheel. And there are clues as to how to get off of that wheel and actually kind of advance yourself and kind of evolve past that repetitive circle, okay? Because that's not what life is about. Not what life is about. It's about being true to you and being the best you that you can be to others, right? So that's what drew me to the type of palmistry that I do. So you will hear me call lines by different names than what you may be used to, because I just pull from everywhere, okay? So that being said, I'm going to quickly tell you about the lines. And if I'm going too fast, you guys say, Rachel, slow down. Okay. I can't see what any of you are saying, but hey, right. So I'm going to show you on my hand, which I normally don't like to show because people get judgy. People do. People do get judgy. All right. So there are three basic hands on about, basic lines on about 95% of the entire population of the planet that are on you when you're in the womb at around 4 to 5 weeks old. That's when they form. And they're never, ever, ever going to change. Ever. Okay? Now, that is the top line, which is what I like to call, well, most people call it a heart line, right? Some people call it a love line. I call it the relationship line, and that runs at the top. Now, the second line down, most people call it a knowledge line. I like to call it a wisdom line. And it goes, oops, I'm losing it here. It runs straight across, parallel with that relationship line. And then we have the big guy, which is the lifeline. And he runs all the way down here. Okay? Now, those three lines on me, never going to change, ever. So, what happens if you have your palm read? Do you need to have another reading at some point? Yes, because every other line on the hand, except for the fingerprints, those are actually the very first lines to form on your hand when you're in the womb, okay? So those three lines and the fingerprints are never going to change. But every other single line, indentation, blister, scar, everything, all that changes every 6 weeks to 2 months because you are constantly going through different events, different situations. And it's kind of like the saying, that they left their mark on you, if you've ever heard that. Well, think about energy interacting with energy, right? That's what it's like. That mark is left on you because that's how you spent your energy. That was your involvement in that particular situation, okay? So what does that mean for your past life hand, right? That means that these lines very rarely change because it is there to show you what not to repeat. It's kind of like the saying, if you get rid of your history, you're doomed to repeat it, right? If you just completely eradicate it, you're doomed to repeat it. So that is yet another reason why I like palmistry. Now, for that 5% of people, remember I said only 95, which is a huge number, of all the people across the entire planet having those three lines, right? For that 5%, those people out of the entire world, that's such a small number of people, they are called simian hands, and they will only have 2 lines on their hand, on their current life hand. And it is very, very rare to have 2 simian hands, okay? So astrology is all wrapped up in it. Obviously, because of my Aristotelian pull, right, that we have the Greek pantheon, all the Greek gods and goddesses are involved with it, different areas on the hand. So that's basically what all that is about. Now, there are different elements also involved which can actually correspond to tarot, because tarot came way later. Tarot itself is actually only around like 500 to 1,000 years old, okay? Now, it originally just started out as oracle and then went into tarot, and then you have Lenormand, and then you have all these other variations, right? Lenormand are kind of like a cross between oracle and tarot, and they were a French deck, that came out kind of, I think it was like in the 1700s. So there's that. That's a whole other ball of wax, all right? But that, my friends, is palmistry. So the elements that I was talking about, you can tell what element a person has, and obviously there are combinations, right? But basically the essence of their energy will change from life to life to fit within an element. So with what type of palmistry that I use, there are 4 different elements. Now in Chinese palmistry, there's actually 6, okay, because they include wood and metal, okay, and theirs. But it's basically earth, air, water, and fire, and each one has a different shape to it. Each hand has a different shape to it. And if you know tarot, then you can correspond. There's a correspondence between, sort of like the cups are water. So if you have a water hand, the suit of cups in tarot kind of correlates to your personality. You understand? I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but that is also why I do tarot. So, without further ado, let's do this. I made Richard laugh. He's like, what? Well, hey, I caught myself. You know, I'm a talker, Richard. Well, since I said a lot there, let's do some Q&A, if there is any. Taking it. Okay. Do you have any questions at all? Throw it out there. I'm here for a Q&A as well. And then after the Q&A, I'm going to read some poems, and then I'm going to do some cards as well. And keep in mind, I am going to be offering another course on palmistry on the website, spiritualpsychicstv.com. I got it right this time, Richard. Hey, Polly. Good to see you, Polly. Yes, let's do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we have a few shows coming up for you, and we're going to do some quick, I say quick, Richard. Okay, so we have VIP Mediumship Evening with Deb Clark and Marcus Lapsa. That is going to be wild. I love these two. I really do. Thursday, so that is this coming Thursday. And then also, Thursday, July. I didn't read that. Well, it is Thursday. See, I don't even know where I'm at, people. I don't. But that is this coming Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time, meaning 3 p.m. here in the States, well, Eastern Daylight Time. And that's going to be on Zoom. So does that mean it is for VIP only, Richard? Yes, this is a VIP only event. So if you do want to participate, then you will have to go to the website. And what that means, being a VIP, means that you actually donate toward the site, toward the whole system that is SPTV, so that all of these readings are free. They're absolutely free. All the resources on the site, everything, all that is free to all of you to use. And so please check out the website, become a VIP if you want to attend that. And here we have an evening with Myra. I think I said that right. Moira Hawkins and Tim Abbott. Ooh, I have a lot of Hawkins in my family, actually. And that is this coming Friday. See, I got the month right this time. 8 p.m. UK time. Again, that would be 3 p.m. here in the States in the afternoon. And that is almost everywhere. Look at that. That's going to be on Facebook and on YouTube. So that is just open to everybody. And then we have this amazing, amazing event coming up on the 31st that I will also be participating in. But look at these names, everybody. Look at these names. We have Matt and Kirsty, we have Polly, we have Sam O'Neill, we have Jane, we have Marcus, Bill Hughes, Deb, Wendy, who's actually here watching, Sam Pert, Veronica Jenkins, moi. We have all the Robinsons, and we also have Ricky and Tyler. And the proceeds for this fundraiser go to Freya, who is actually fighting leukemia, and she's 14 years old, and it's going to be hopefully a very, very fun evening. As you can see, there's going to be readings, there's going to be bingo, quiz competitions, and people were also donating as giveaways private readings, right? Isn't that right, Richard? So please stop on by, and that is Saturday the 31st. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Johnstone. Okay. No questions? Really? No questions? I mean, if there aren't, okay, we're fine. I'll go with it. Yes, the two hands have two different meanings. The hand that you write with is everything that you have gone through from birth to the end. So you can actually, if you choose to do so, look at future situations. And I have to explain that a little bit further. But that means that the left hand then, like for me, I'm right-handed, so every line on here is going to change every 6 weeks to 2 months, except for those 3 lines and the fingerprints. My left hand is every very, how do I say this? If something really, really poignant happened in my past life, some past life, it's going to show up on here, because this is the hand that represents everything that your energy has been through from different lives up to where you are at right now. So that's why these lines very rarely change. If they do, if you have a line on here that does go away, more often than not, that means that you actually broke out of that cycle, and that you have evolved from that situation, and that in your current life, you have outgrown it, or you have learned the lesson and you have moved on from it. So therefore, it's not on you anymore. Follow me? So when it comes to looking at future stuff, you can actually tell, like, years. There's a measurement that you can use, but I kind of steer clear of it myself, because some people don't have a long lifeline. I've seen people who have had maybe like an inch long lifeline, and they've been told really horrific things by other palm readers, right? They've been told, oh, you're going to have this happen to you. Oh, you're going to do this and this. Oh, I feel so bad for you. And then they come to me and they're crying. It's a real mess. And I'm like, if I were to go by the line, your lifeline, your life would have ended at like 25, and you're 60 and you're sitting across from me. What does that say? I don't really like to go into like timeline increments when it comes to the lifeline. But yes, they are absolutely two different meanings, but it is all essentially about you. So it's basically about your soul. Yeah. Hope I answered that. Yes, absolutely, Terry. I'm going to have trouble with these headphones again. All right. So the thumb is Venus. Okay. This is Jupiter, aka Zeus. All right. The bad middle finger here is Saturn, aka Kronos. This is Apollo. Okay. And this is Mercury. So those are the 5 fingers. Now these two over here are basically centered around communication, but in completely different way. And these two over here deal with ego. Let's just leave it at that. if you know your Greek mythology or Greek whatever, right? Your Greek gods. Saturn. He took care of things, very militant about stuff, and he didn't care what he did or who he did it to. I mean, he even ate his own children so that he could keep his throne, keep his power, right? Because he was the last of the Titan gods, right? The youngest also. And interestingly enough, Zeus, Jupiter, was one of Saturn's sons. And he was hidden away from Saturn, which is why, in the end, Zeus was the one that actually took down Saturn. So there's all that. I hope that answered your question. Now, let me dive into that a little bit more. With the communication, as I said, Mercury is very basic black and white communication. Like for me, it's sunny. I'm in Ohio. It's the afternoon. It's very hot out, very factual, very black, white, cut, dry, right? Now, Apollo, he is the one that's going to say, oh, it's just so gray outside. It's really depressing. It's overwhelming. He's really going to use every adjective under the sun to express himself. And there's the word sun, which is basically how he is represented, right? Now, as in the sun in the sky, right? Now, with him, because you are expressing yourself, you find a lot of self-care. You find things such as the arts, yoga, dancing, things like that in this finger. Now, Saturn, as I said, he doesn't care. If something has to get done, whatever it is, he makes sure that it gets done. Boom, that's it. If toes have to get stepped on, if someone has to get pushed under, whatever happens, some dire, horrible thing, he'll do it. Because that's what's supposed to happen. Okay? So very militant, right? And then we have good old Zeus, aka Jupiter. Zeus. Ego. That's how you feel about yourself, is represented in what Zeus or Jupiter finger looks like, okay? And then Venus, aka Aphrodite, right? But I always say just Venus, right? Now, this actually has to do with social interaction. Some people hear Venus and they're like, ooh, love. No. Now, in certain types of palmistry, that has to, and actually Vedic culture, there is a whole different sect that will only focus on the thumb when reading palms, and they can spend days on it. That's not me. That's not me. So I hope that actually explained everything. And Richard ran away from the computer. I hear it. I hear it all happening right now. It's okay. I'm just harassing you. It's all good. If you try to change your destiny, if you try to go against fate, are your lines going to change? Lines change based on what you encounter, who you encounter, the situations you encounter. Think of energy touching energy, right? Like if you touch a stove, right, and it's still hot, right, you get a burn, it leaves a mark. Well, when you are dealing with energy and situations, everything in this entire planet, and the planet itself, everything is energy, right? So if you are interacting with energy, you are going to have a mark. Whether it changes, meaning it was one line and now all of a sudden it's two, that happens a lot, okay? Maybe it'll kind of fade away slowly, or it'll get deeper, which means that you really have to pay attention to that. Or maybe it'll just kind of turn. It's a free-for-all, Polly. It truly is. Now, if you try to change your destiny, that would kind of mean that you were aware of what your destiny is, right? So that is a whole can of worms for another discussion, because I realize I have 2 hours, but I'm already 45 minutes into this, Miss Polly. No, I gotta read poems, but I will. Yeah, that's. We're talking about Saturn. We're talking about the fates. We're talking about the hamster wheel. We're talking about source. We're talking about a higher authority, right? And we're also talking about the law of attraction. So, do your lines change? Yes, they will. But will they change in a good way? All right, Aaron, could you point out where the fate line is? All right. The thing about the fate line is I don't actually call it a fate line, but I know exactly what line you're talking about. Now, it's kind of blurry here, so I'll go like that a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, you see all those lines on my hand. The fate line actually runs up through the center, okay? And for me, when I do my readings, it actually starts up here and finishes down here, okay? Whatever length it is, all that means is that it might take you longer in your life to feel comfortable in your skin. Is it fate? I don't like to call it fate. I like to call it a presence line, meaning your overall presence. When you walk into a room, do people say, "Ooh, Aaron's here"? Are people, that kind of thing, like your presence, right? Your strength, how comfortable you are in your skin, how people look up to you, and your impact, how you are using your energy with people and the situations that are going on around you. That's what I like to call it. And if you don't have one, Aaron, if you don't have one, ask yourself why. Because it usually implies that there's a part of you that feels that you cannot speak your own personal truth. Okay? So think about that a little bit and reach out to me. Reach out to me. Okay, I'm being serenaded now over my headset. Okay. What? What, Richard? Oh, thank you. I have a line from the bottom of my ring finger to the bottom of my ring finger to the bottom of my lifeline. What does this mean, please? Okay, well, for you, your ring finger is Apollo, because here in the States, I don't really know where you are, and I know some people use different, sayings, call different fingers ring fingers, right? So, Apollo, if it is from underneath Apollo, and it goes all the way over to, let me see, the bottom of your lifeline, that actually means that you are all about self-care, that you actually have to start practicing self-care, and that if you are not doing it now, it's going to be this epiphany toward the end of your life, since it is at the bottom of the lifeline. So that's what that means. What? 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 Okay. No, actually, I only heard part of what you said, Richard, for real. I was like, what? I thought I'm just being smart. I'm like, what? Oh, Rebecca. Okay. Is there a significant, I can't talk, significance of having marks or freckles on? Yeah, absolutely. Moles, blisters, all that. Paper cuts, you name it, scars. Wherever they are on the hand means something on the palm side, okay? Because every area of the surface of the palm side of the hand stands for something. So wherever those freckles are, pay attention to them, because that means if you were born with a mole in a particular area, right? Like, let's say it was over here. This is actually what's called a plane of Mars, which is right here. You have one on either side of your hand, right? So let's say I had a mole right here, or maybe in your case, a freckle. Well, that would mean that you have to pay attention to how you are with other people when it comes to defending your beliefs. And since it is under Jupiter, right underneath the mound of Jupiter, that means that you need to feel good and very impassioned about your personal beliefs. And if somebody pushes you, you will prove your point to a T. Okay? Now, if it was on the other side, that would, even though it's underneath Mercury, I froze. It's also, we have all kinds of things happening here, okay? You can see me fine, really? What is going on? I could try to. So, this side over here with this plane of Aries, because it is above this area, which is the moon goddess, that would mean that you would approach the things the inner gut, that gut voice that you have, the intuition up for yourself. So that's just switch over to 5G if you want me to. Would that help? Blink out and come back. I don't know. Okay. All right. You there? All right. It says poor connection in Skype. Okay. All right. Mm, okay. All right. Well, I switched over, and I'm sorry for that technological hiccup, everybody. But what I was trying to say is that dependent upon where the freckle is, would basically tell you how you needed to present yourself or to explain yourself in certain situations. And if they disappear, that means that that moment in time that you needed to do that in has passed. And I hope you heard it. And I hope you're still here. All right. Sharon. Well, Sharon, that's what happens. You get more lines as you get older because you have gone through more experiences. Remember what I said, for every situation you are involved with, your lines are going to be changing. It's because it's like, seriously, it's like when you touch something really hot and it leaves a mark, right? Like you get a burn somewhere, right? It'll heal, but it may leave a mark. It's the same principle with palmistry. So if you get more lines, that just means that there is more that you have lived, more life that you have actually been involved with than when you were younger. And also, dependent upon where those lines fall, might be something that you would want to think about, reflect on, and potentially revisit to change something. Okay? Hope that helped. These are some good questions. Denise, oh, how'd I get into it? Well, um, how do I explain this? As I said, yeah, okay. Oh, the nerve. That's right. That's right. Oh, Richard. Oh. No palm reading for you. Okay. Richard's teasing me, people. Okay, anyway, Denise, as I said when I first hopped on here, everyone in my family is just a little, wait, everybody's very individual, right? Let's just put it that way. And whether they like to admit it or not, they could pretty much tell you when the phone's going to ring, who it's going to be, what's going to be in the mail. Um, that, like my mom, for instance, actually had a dream a couple nights ago, and she told me that she had this dream that somebody brought her a gift basket full of vegetables and fruit and honey to her front door. And I was like, what? Right? Because she lives in, like in this house that is maybe, I don't know, a quarter of a mile. I know we talk miles here. Back, really horrible dirt road that we call a lane, right? Nobody will deliver back there. No delivery, even the postal service, nobody will deliver anything. And well, guess what? Today, the son of her neighbor brought her this huge thing of vegetables and fruit and honey from their gardens and from their hives that they have. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so it's in my family, first off, okay? But when I was 15, I was at a local mall. I know malls still had bookstores back then, and malls existed. And I was walking past this bookstore that had a clearance rack sitting out in the aisle outside of the store. And I saw this book just stuck out at me. It said palmistry, really big on the side. And I was like, oh, what's that, right? So I'm looking at it, and I put it back because for me, at 15, it was still expensive, right? So I go back again. It's still there. I say, nope, nope. I want to go down even further in clearance, right? Bargain shopper that I was at 15 years old, right? Now, so it took like a third or fourth try, and it was still there. And my family has this saying that if we really want something and we can't afford it at the time, if we go back for it and it's still there, it's meant to be. Well, it was there. I had the money. I bought the book. The rest is history. I am 49 now, and so I guess been doing this for 34 years. Yeah, 34 years, Denise. Oi. So that's how that all happened. He's being something. No, it's just keeping me on my toes. Richard is wonderful. I really appreciate all the hard work that he does, and also putting up with me. Keeping me on track. You got goosebumps. Wait. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of my life. We got a lot of spirit sightings and mediumship that I've squashed down, and we got lots of stuff I could talk about, but that's basically where I started. But before I started palmistry, I actually would see spirits, and I would hear them and get messages, and it was, yeah, you can listen to me all night. Well, thank you. Yeah, I feel it. I'm still young. Yeah, I feel it. Absolutely. Let's get to some readings, huh? Let's do this. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. Okay, Holly, are you still here? 54 minutes I've been yammering on. Wait. Holly, if you are still here, I'm going to read your hand. The countdown has begun. Hurry up, lady. Yes, absolutely. I am planning to offer another course on the website, okay, spiritualpsychicstv.com. I don't know why I can't remember the address today. I don't know why. But anyway, so it will be on there, and I am actually going to be offering a course in mudras, which is basically using the chakras that are in, or the energy centers that are in the palms. And I'm also going to be offering my Palmistry 101 class, and it's going to kind of edge a little bit more toward reading the past life hand this time around than just the current life. So, yes, please be on the lookout for that, okay? And Holly is here. Okay, I cannot see the tips of Holly's fingers, of these two fingers, There we go, perfect. Holly, Holly, Holly. Water, water everywhere. What is with all the water hands? You guys always have water hands. I don't know. Most of my clients here in the States are earth hands. But most of UK seems to be water hands, which is wild. Okay, but anyway, just something that amazed me there for a minute. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. Holly, right away, water. People are gonna come to you with their problems, okay? Understand this. I could show you everywhere on your hand where I am seeing this, but we got an hour. we got an hour, and I'm going to try to do as many readings as possible. I got 10 minutes with you. He just said I have 10 minutes. So, some of the things that really, really stick out here at me is the fact that you are a water hand, not just fingers, but also your palm. So everything about you is water. When you interact with people, you can feel basically what they're going through. If someone is stressed, if someone is really worried, very sad, upset, you're going to feel it. You really are. And they are going to tell you whether you really want them to or not. Now, I often say the situation with water hands is that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be repeating myself here, but it holds true. Over 30 years, it has always held true. Water hands are just trying to find solid land, right? So they're in a little boat and they're rowing on this sea of emotion, on all this water, right? Which is their own emotion, because that is what emotion is equivocal to, is actual water, right? So you are just trying to find solid, dry land, right? Just so you can rest. And there are people that are going to come up to you in boats to say, Holly, oh my gosh, Holly, you're never going to believe what happened. And they're just going to dump. And then they're going to basically row away from you because they feel better. But where did all that emotion that they just showed you, where did it go? It went in your boat. So you have to stop, get that water out of your boat, because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to go under, right? So, boundaries. You have to pay attention to boundaries. Now, also, something I notice right away is the line that you have underneath Apollo, which is right here. Remember this finger, the ring, my ring finger, right? That is Apollo, and you have a line that goes right underneath it, like I do. See that line right there? Okay, now what that basically says is that since it is on the mount of Apollo, means that you have a type of, oh, how do I put this? There's really not a easy way to say this other than you can be your own worst enemy because of doubt. I have that too. You saw it on my hand, okay? And it has to do with your ideas and how you feel about things. Don't be afraid to tell the people around you how you feel. You're gonna have to start doing that. You really, really are. Now, one of your strongest points is that you, on your hand, is that when you become someone's friend, it's a really tight bond. You are such a good friend. You really, really are. You will do things for others before you're going to have to pay attention to, because remember, as I said, and we're stuck again, aren't we? Okay, all right. I can barely hear you, Richard. It's just, yeah. Okay. All right. There's intermittent internet issues, everybody, and I apologize for that. Whatever, right? Technology. So, but with you, Holly, please don't doubt how you feel. There are people that will listen. There are. And do not isolate yourself from relationships. Do not. It's just that people see you, see your light, your vibration, and they will just come to you. Okay? So if you want to practice the arts, whether you want to go into any kind of yoga, any kind of thing like that, please do, because you have to release that energy, meaning those emotions that people will actually dump on you, because they're not yours. You don't need to hold on to them. You have your own stuff that you are trying to move through and row through to get to land, okay? So that you can do some grounding work, do some earthing, and just be comfortable. Now, the other thing is that people respect you more than you think they do. So they will listen. So open up and say how some of the things they are putting you through makes you feel. Because I see a lot of chaining, it's called, meaning like little X's on your relationship line. So that is conflict, okay? But it is a very deep line, and by it being deep means that you feel and you hold it, and you hold it and you hold it and you hold it. Let it go. Let it go. So I hope that helps in a way. But also, you have a mark on your hand. I just noticed that you should be a writer. So maybe, and that's right down in here, you have some little cross hatching, like a little X, right? And that means that if you really felt like you couldn't speak your truth to them as to how what is going on is making you feel, write it. Write it. Obviously change the names, okay? But create that world where you feel comfortable. Create it. Write it out, okay? Be a part of it. And then release it. Release it. Get it published. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Hope that helped, Holly. Yeah. All right. And if you have any questions at all, Holly, just message me, okay? Rachel G. Palmistry on Facebook, okay? Or you can actually go to my website or whatever. Julie? Julie, you're getting your hand read. Hey there, Julie. Oh, can't see the tips. Yeah, I can't see the tip. Oh, Tom's Diner. That's Tom's Diner, right? Suzanne Vega. Oh, I can't see Saturn, but it's good enough. Don't worry. It's good enough. All right, Julie. So, right off the bat, you have something called a spatulate thumb, okay? Now, that means nothing other than the shape itself is spatulate, right? Kind of goes like this. It's kind of wide and tapers in, okay? And what that means is that I'm happy you came to me. Holly, let's see, amazing. Really accurate. Oh, good. And you are writing a book. Perfect. Let me know about that book. I'm curious what it is. Let me know. Message me. All right, Julie. Let's get back to you and your spatula thumb, eh? Now, thank goodness you came to me. Some people even at the Edgar Casey Foundation will say this, and I think it's completely and totally wrong. But I will tell you this. What a spatulate thumb is traditionally called is pretty worrisome when people hear the name. So I actually just decided, based on what I'm being told by a guide, I'm not going to say it. But if you ever want to reach out to me to find out what most people call it, even the Edgar Casey Foundation, please get in touch with me. But for me, when I come across a thumb like yours, basically means that you work so much and you do so much that you get to a breaking point. That's all it means. That's all it means. But that breaking point happens because you didn't open up and say and force other people to do what they themselves needed to do. You can't really be there all the time for everybody. That applies for everyone, right? Like, I can't be there all the time for everybody. Nobody really can, because we also have our own lives to live, right? So, Jupiter, look at the length of Saturn, but look at the curvature and Mercury. It's like two completely different symbol. Live long and prosper, Julie. Complete difference with who you are. And we're having tech problems. Is that underneath it all, you present yourself, take it all. Like, bring it to me, I'll fix it, I'll do it, I can handle it. Thanks. Okay. And whereas the other part is free and be who you truly want to be. Other people. Stop it. Okay. Be you. And don't blame those other people. You can hear me through all this tech stuff. I don't know what's. Let's see, it's my internet. It's my internet. It says so. Whoops. Now. Yep. Oh, I'm back, everybody. Yeah, I'm back. And there is a pause still. Okay, whatever. We're just going with it. Yeah, we don't understand what's going on, so it is what it is. Now, I hope what I said to you helped with your hand. What I was trying to say was that please, I wanted to really get this in there with a spatula thumb. Just speak up, because a lot of times people that do have a spatula they just take on the problems of the world and don't complain. And so they get to a point where it's like the last straw, and right, we have a little bit of an explosion. So do not blame others. So before that happens, just tell people. Just tell them how you feel doing the work for them. Okay? Explain that to them. Because they need to grow. Okay? All right. So I hope that helped. I was trying to finish that reading. That's all I was doing, Richard. Still. Aww. Can't even hear. Call. I can't hear you at all. I think you said, can I hear you? You have WhatsApp open? Yeah. Can you hear me, Richard? Okay. Okay. Let's call it a night, folks. There's just way too many issues. Way too many issues, and I apologize. Technology is I wouldn't say the word, but we all know what word I'm thinking. So I bid you adieu. Now, hopefully we can do this again sometime. I really enjoyed it. If you can hear me, please, if you have any questions, reach out to me about any of the readings I did get to do. And hopefully we can set something up where I can do this again. Okay, I am on here bi-weekly or fortnightly. And please look for me, and also go to the website, spiritualpsychicstv.com, become a VIP member, and join in on that Zoom event on Thursday, okay? So, good night, everybody, and thank you so much, and I really, really apologize for all the technical difficulties, but we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.